This is a complete rip-off of Cinemasins.
I voted Remain.
So you had Theresa May and some Tory MPs voting for Remain. Wait, why are they now in charge again?
I believe that this Thursday can be our country's Independence Day.
Boris Johnson, Michael Gove and Jacob Rees-Mogg all voting for Leave. I mean, do we need another Avengers movie?
No, look, I would say to my colleagues, stick with the Prime Minister. She is doing this in a very careful and methodical way.
The Tories were divided, but I mean seriously, an Avengers vs Justice League movie would be kind of good. But wait, let's get back to Brexit.
I told Jeremy Corbyn last night that I no longer had confidence in his leadership, and he dismissed me from the shadow cabinet.
Meanwhile, Labour hated Jeremy Corbyn because he looked like he didn't give two hoots about campaigning. And he was kind of right. I mean, take a back seat, allow the Tories to split themselves up and profit, or walk around Britain in the rain. I know which one I would choose. Things can only get better. Things can only get better.
We rely on the passporting rights that the EU provides us.
Bankers.
But he pointed out that you'd said we'd be permanently poorer, when indeed you're talking about the difference between the economy growing by 29% and it growing by 37%. So do you accept that the most you can claim, as Fraser Nelson put it, that people won't be as much better off as they would otherwise have been? Well,
George Osborne lied to us, then took a job at a paper to lie to us some more.
We can take back control of £350 million a week.
£350 million a week. Oof. I mean, that's a lot, but couldn't we have just started a company and paid our taxes offshore?
Well, at 20 minutes to 5, we can now say the decision taken in 1975 by this country to join the common market has been reversed.
Brexit won. Wait a minute. Brexit? That's what you're calling it? Britain's exit? Brexit? Does this work for other words? For example, if I pooed on Jeremy Hunt's face because I was waiting so long in hospital with chronic diarrhea from Captain Birdseye's fish fingers, does that put the words captain, crap, hunt and face together to make Captain Cunt Face? I'm going to give myself a point, just for that.
I do not think it would be right for me to try to be the captain that steers our country to its next destination.
Fuck you, David Cameron. So we all thought Theresa May was going to be good, and then she turned out to be pretty shit. So it's basically the opposite of that Woman from The Last Jedi, which was a shit film, so I'm going to add a point. Everyone hated on Jeremy Corbyn, and really, he turned out to be a good guy. The pound fell. I mean, no wonder they made the new ones lighter. That could cause serious injury. Better wear those safety goggles. Philip Hammond is now Chancellor. Boris Johnson is now Foreign Secretary. And the others.
Part of the word leave, don't you understand?
Gina Miller. So we're saying Parliament, who mostly voted Remain, now had to vote to trigger Article 50. That's like asking Europe, who mostly voted against the interests of the UK, to vote for the interest of the... oh, wait. It took till March just to write a letter, send it to Europe, and to trigger Article 50. 9 months. I could have had a baby in that time. It would have probably been less painful and taken less time to complete the way things are going. Why is she writing a letter anyway? Couldn't she have made a WhatsApp group or just texted ahead? Get with the times, people. Brexit started. Finally. I'm going to take all the points off.
The government should call a general election.
The election. And let's re-add those points again.
I don't defend these comments whatsoever.
UKIP changes leader how many times now? If the UKIP leader is the Doctor, then the Remainers are the Daleks. The Leavers are the Time Lords, and Brexit is the war in Gallifrey. It means that all the fangirls remember Nigel Farage.
And that's why I have chosen to step down as leader of the Liberal Democrats.
Tim Farron quits because he doesn't like bum sex. Theresa May gets weaker. I mean, seriously, she cuts herself out of the media.
I have to confess, when me and my friends sort of used to run through the fields of wheat.
Makes a load of bad policies and then expects a win. It worked for Donald Trump.
Well, almost a bit.
That boob slap.
The big Brexit talks have kicked off in Brussels.
The negotiations, the staring contest begins.
Macedonia was among the 96% of Gibraltar residents who voted to remain in the EU in last year's referendum.
Gibraltar. So you're saying the negotiations get stuck because of one tiny island fighting over territory for another tiny island. If Moana taught me anything, it's that what really matters is a giant lava monster called Tafiti.
And many take extraordinary risks to try and reach the United Kingdom.
The French immigration issue, reminding us how shitty Europe can be, that people we used to war-torn countries actually want to escape from it.
My mother is 84, and she wept on Friday.
So now you want to reverse the entire process? 20 points just for that.
It's a long way from Westminster.
I see you. Come on.
This Fermanagh farm straddles the Irish border.
The Irish?
My life is here, so I've got children here, I'm married.
EU citizens are reminding us they're not just here to make pizza. So you're saying we have free healthcare called the NHS, yet it's used by immigrants, run by immigrants, and paid for through taxes by us. Oh, and it doesn't even work. Also, what's this campaign trying to say? That when we leave we'll have full access to the editing tools in Windows Movie Maker? David Davis. David Davis.
Hello, Boris Johnson, how do you do?
Boris Johnson. Because being fat, having bad hair and a funny voice keeps you in power these days.
I did take the precaution of asking my right honourable friend to bring a packet of cough sweets just in case.
Philip Hammond. I mean, I like Excel and all, but play on Paint, or better yet, draw boxes on the desktop. It would probably be more useful.
I think what I say to all my colleagues is the Conservative family, left, right and centre, because we're a broad church, needs to come together in a spirit of mutual respect.
So picture this in a desolate survival situation alone with no help from the outside world. What do? You start arguing with each other, of course. It worked for Wilson and Tom Hanks. Tory infighting.
We'd be out of the single market. That's the reality. Britain would be quitting the single market.
If we were outside the single market and we had a deal like, say, America does, which is what the head of the Leave campaign has recommended.
If we were to complete the single market in services, which is what the Brexit camp wants to walk away from.
The single market.
Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.